Today we're facing a social media. Today we're facing a social media problem that's causing a bigger issue than any of you know. In the year 1517, a priest and a scholar nailed 95 theses to a church, and we got 200 years of war because of the destabilization that took place in Europe. Today, we're having that same tsunami happen, and the question is why? Well, the printing press took that 95 theses and overwhelmed the authority that existed within society back in the 16th century. The authority was the Pope and the monarchy, and the share of voice was 2. And the printing press came along, and within 20 years, 16,000 different pamphlets were printed. And the world was never the same. Social media came along in 2010, maybe 2005, in the first versions. And 15 years later, the entire planet is on the verge of a catastrophe that none of us know anything about. Democracy is at stake. Every single democracy measure in the world is down. Democracies are falling apart. And here at home, even in places like Canada that qualify as one of the only full democracies in the world, it's bad. Social media, we all know, creates echo chambers. Those echo chambers take all of the people who think they know what they're talking about, put them into groups, and they self-reinforce. They end up doing things like revolutions and causing problems. It's time to reinvent how we do democracy. My name is Simser. I'm a Silicon Valley entrepreneur from Toronto. I spent 15 years in the Valley, in Seattle, and the Alley. And this social network is going to fix that problem once and for all by creating a 6th estate in Canada that will offset problems that are being created. You know, our parliaments were created the last time this happened. Parliaments in democracy are, by definition, what came out of the revolution I talked about. The people can't afford to be without a new estate. And what we need is an estate that's credible. These are the reasons it'll be credible. We'll own it. Will be verified. There will be no crazy experts. There will be no more false prophets, no more false information. And algorithms are a really simple way to manage it. The social network itself is not exciting, but the revenue it generates is $50 a year, $40 gross income. And in the end, this money will all go into a bank account owned and controlled by the people, making the people in every single country billionaires. That money will allow the people of a country to come together through this business model, ads that will take all of the political money being spent today and push it into a new ad platform where the user watching it will not be manipulated. The person buying that will be the client, and memberships that will create the most predictive data set there is in the world, disrupting $200 billion in existing spending. Now, we're already live. We've launched in Canada. And in the last year, we've raised $400,000. We got $250 grand from the Google Startup Program. It's credits. It's not selective. It's not hard to get, but it directly reduces our cost. We went live in Canada a week ago. We've been betaing it since September 28th at our Mars Discovery District launch event, and we intend to raise $2 million to be able to launch in these other countries. I think somebody said A players attract A players. The executive team, we think we're A players, but I think more importantly, the people who advise us are. These are some of the biggest investors in the country. They run $100 billion platforms and funds, and in the end, they're capable of saying whether or not it's going to work through their actions. CITIZN is downloadable now. I hope you will download it, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks for the presentation. I understand thinking about the business model. Could you elaborate on the business model part where you talk about networks and revenues?
Yes. So first off, let me sort of bring this together. LinkedIn is the business, Twitter is the news, Facebook is the social, and CITIZN will be democracy. The difference is this will not be a monolithic global social network. It will be one per country. They'll all be tied together globally so as to protect the democratic states. Okay. We figure that between India and Europe and North America, you you've got this backbone of democracy. Now, once you have that, there's two ways to make money. You have this huge social network that you can sell ads on, just like Facebook, just like LinkedIn. The big difference is this ad platform is wasteful. So a typical ad platform requires about 1,000 views to get a decent click or a download. In this case, imagine for a moment that you're the owner of the platform and somebody buys an ad from you. Are you going to watch that ad much more than, say, the Pepsi that showed up on Facebook? The answer is yes. And so you're going to reduce materially the number of views required to get. And so we can either charge more for that view, or we can charge less for it and give them less. The membership side is also unique. And so in this case, think of LinkedIn memberships. You know how a recruiter pays, $120 or something that gets a month. In our case, everybody will have a certain amount of access to the information, but you'll have a free tier of $25, go right up to $1,000 a month to sell this data. The current